Joining me now to talk about all of it on Capitol Hill is NBC's Ryan Nobles, and NBC's Monica Alba is outside the White House. So, Ryan, what's the mood been like there today? Historic day, the reaction to Speaker Pelosi's speech.
You know, Garrett, I think probably the best word you could use to describe what we saw here today was grateful. So many members of the Democratic caucus seem grateful for the work that Nancy Pelosi has given to this body over the past 3 decades, 20 in leadership, but also grateful by the way that she has decided to pass the baton on to the next generation. I mean, you know as well as anyone that there was quite a bit of angst behind the scenes as to how this was all going to play out. Was she going to stay or was she going to go? And she found kind of a happy medium here where she's going to allow for this new generation of Democratic leaders to step forward while at the same time preserving those tight margins between Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives. And the other kind of pretty big feat here was the fact that she took that step and she got these other two very prominent and powerful leaders in Steny Hoyer and James Clyburn to take that step with her. And this is what Steny Hoyer had to say about that decision by the three of them to let the next crop of leaders take the baton.
Because I think it's time for new leadership, and I think we have excellent opportunities. Very frankly, I think I could be elected, and that was not the issue. But I think it's time. Well, I think it's always good for a party to have new blood and new invigoration, enthusiasm, and new ideas.
So I think one of the things that was interesting there, what you heard from Leader Hoyer, Garrett, is that he made it clear that he could have been elected if he wanted to. But he's stepping down on his own accord, which I think is important. They do want to make it clear that if they want to stay in these positions, they could. And the other thing that's important to point out, Garrett, is that under normal circumstances, all three of these individuals would have just resigned Congress and left. The fact that they're still going to be here gives them the opportunity to kind of steward this next group of leaders into the next generation of Congress.
Right. It's just like you and I could have totally played college ball, but, we wanted to focus on our studies.
Exactly.
Exactly. Talk a little bit about this new presumptive incoming leadership team. I think people have gotten to know Hakeem Jeffries a little bit. People might know Pete Aguilar from the January 6th committee. What does this new team bring to the table?
Well, first of all, shout out to Generation X, right? It's our time. It's this is the first crop of Generation X leaders to really kind of take control. These are guys in their mid to late 40s, early 50s that are going to be the people in charge, and they are all dynamic personalities. They are people who have been in Congress for some time, but also really have the support and loyalty amongst their membership. And the three of them all work together as well. There's no doubt that they're each their own individual members of Congress. They have their own kind of individual goals, and they're certainly not running as a ticket by any stretch of the imagination, but they do seem to be in concert in terms of what they think the direction of the Democratic caucus should be going forward. And make no mistake, there's going to be a lot that they're going to have to be involved in this next Congress, especially because Republicans do not have a huge majority, maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 seats. There's going to be opportunities for Democrats to make noise when it comes to legislation and the check on the oversight that Republicans are going to try and put forward. So them staying unified is going to be very, very important, and these three are going to be the ones in charge of it.
And Ryan, what about the role that, Congresswoman Pelosi will play going forward? We haven't seen something like this in quite a long time.
Yeah, and I do think it's going to take some time to figure out exactly what role she will play. This is a kind of new territory for her, and it's new territory for the other members of Congress. And I'm sure there's going to be a careful balancing act between her advising the next round of leadership and not bowling over them. I think there's still a lot of members of Congress that still see her as their guiding light and may be willing to look to her before they look to this new crop of leaders. So it's really going to be incumbent upon her and Steny Hoyer and James Clyburn to say, no. This is a decision for this group. We're here if you need the help, but they are the leaders now, and we are their support.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.